How the hell did you get it? The Jedi mind trick. Holy shit, motherfucking Yoda and shit.
Adventure? Excitement? Jedi craves not these things.
Oh, but I do! I like my music to be very adventurous and very exciting. That is exactly what I like in music, you know, that it moves me and does something with me. And if you like that too, you are in luck. Because the review I have is of a very adventurous and definitely very exciting album. Let me get it for you.
Yo, yo, yo! This is Muscle Kuna from Suncase, and you're watching Live Prog! Hell yeah!
The one I'm talking about, Mind Soul, the way it should be. This is the debut album of this Dutch band. They already released 2 EPs and they were included in the Breaking the Layers DVD, a DVD released by Layered Reality Productions featuring 4 amazing bands of their label. And of course, this album is also from that label, Layered Reality Productions. I did a special on them early this year. Well, late 2013, but I released it early this year. I've been listening to a lot of music from that label, and one thing I've noticed about the music that Layered Reality Productions releases is that the music is very unpredictable. You never know what you get. It is always music that does not really fit in one or the other category. Simply said, it is often too heavy to be progressive rock, and it's too soft to be real metal. So that puts it in a little bit of a difficult spot, but it turns out that that makes it so interesting to listen to, because that way you get unusual music. And if you were kind of bored with prog or even bored with metal, then the music of Layered Reality Productions might be very interesting to you.
It took me 20 hours to get to this point. After running everything through my head, I can fill this void.
Now, this debut album, this one, The Way It Should Be, is kind of marketed as prog metal. And they are very close to that genre, but it wouldn't do them entirely justice because this band has so much more to offer. And I must say, when I was listening to this album, I really got excited. Like, wow, what is this? What are they doing here? I was listening to the album and I couldn't stop listening to it. I wanted to know what the next song would bring, because there's so much to enjoy about this album, and I can assure you this album will keep you at least busy for somewhere between 5 and 10 spins before you really understand what this band is doing here. And that is a lot of fun, to discover the music of Mind Soul. The name Mind Soul is also very interesting. I had a couple of times the opportunity to have a chat with Tom de Wit, the vocalist of this band, and also the label owner of Layered Reality Productions. And he said that Mind Soul had to do with the fact that the band is both very technical, but at the same time also has eye for the emotional side of the music. And when you listen to this album, you hear that these two sides, yin and yang, mind and soul, are very much in balance. Because technically it is fantastic music, it is very complicated at times. It can be really heavy metal, but it can also be really beautiful and very progressive music with some unexpected influences and hints and styles mixed into the music, making it a really amazing combination to listen to. But at the same time, it does not sound overly technical. You really hear a lot of emotion in the music. And that also is very important because of the topic that this album deals with. It deals with love, but not your average love story. No, it's a bit of a fucked up love story. It is a love story that for some reason doesn't work. Although the two persons that have that, well, try to have that romantic connection, really do their best, but, you know, come up with all kinds of problems. The interesting part about that is that they included, well, you could say 2 actors who play these parts, the man and the woman, who argue with each other and talk about everything, and they mix it into the music. And to start with that is something you find on a couple of tracks, 4 different sequences, 4 shorter songs between 1 minute and 3 minutes, depending on each, with again always interesting music, and it can be more metal, but it can also be more ambient or atmospheric. And then you have these 2 characters, you know, arguing with each other, and they are Lorraine Leeson, voice, and Brick Mertens, also voice. And these are the actors, and it's very interesting to hear that. I mean, the first time I was listening to the album and I heard that, I thought like, am I hearing someone talk? And then I went back to that part and listened to it and yeah, there's someone talking. Oh, okay, interesting. Apart from that, we have just some really adventurous and exciting music. So if you're a Jedi, you can skip this review unless you're secretly, you know, interested in some adventure and excitement, of course. To be a sort of a roller coaster ride in the dark, because it starts out but you have no idea which direction they will take. Even within one song they can bring several different styles of music. Already in that first track you have that roller coaster idea, because it starts out only the first few seconds is harmony vocals, but then it's pedal to the metal and then it calms down again. And the nice thing is, it feels natural, it feels normal. I mean, when you listen to the album, I was listening to the album at a certain point I thought, what track am I at? And it turns out I already moved up a few tracks along the way in the album and I didn't realize that, I didn't notice it. The album has such an amazing and very organic and natural flow that it, you know, it is a joy to listen to, and that is something, personally, I mean, it's my review, it's my opinion, I find that very important, that an album has a natural flow that you can really enjoy listening to it. That flow from the first track to the second track, when the second track starts, Novae, wow, I love the drums. I really do. And not just in that track, also in other tracks, especially notice track number 4, Pillow Talk. Again, it has really amazing drums, about halfway in the song, with some really cool guitars in it as well. The guitars, they are heavy, they are crunchy, you know, great riffs, shredding parts in it, but also quieter parts and really enjoyment. The bass together with the drums, really fantastic. They have a good rhythm section. You need it when you play some really pedal to the metal heavy songs on it. Joey Clarks is the bass player. He does not just play bass, he also does grunts, and there are a couple of tracks in it that I really love the way he does that, and especially, and that is probably one of my favorite parts when it comes to the grunts, is I Tried to Help, because that has some really heavy stuff in it, some almost death metal kind of stuff, but it also has something completely different in it. After that really heavy stuff you have some sort of ska kind of sound in it, some really laid back moments, then they go back to the metal and then you have the grunts in it. I really love that song very much, in a way that they move through these different styles in the music and it still feels, it feels like it's supposed to be there, you know, it doesn't stand out like, what are they doing here? It's more like, wow, what are they doing here? That kind of idea which you get. Also again, the track Pillow Talk also has some great grunts in it, and throughout the album a lot more. I really dig that very much. You know, there's so much I can tell you about this album, because every song has so much to offer. I already mentioned a couple of names. Well, let's complete the cast then of this album. On piano and synths, and again what he does throughout the album I really love. Several parts, you know, a lot of great piano parts in it, also some nice synths. Roland Le Fèvre. Then we have Jim Oes-Ilden on guitars, and Stefan van Leeuwenstein also on guitars, Raoul Tamas the drums. As I said, I really love the drums on this album. And as I mentioned, Joey Clarks on bass and grunts and Tom de Wit on vocals. but on the album he also plays guitars, synths and does some orchestrations.
So I can leave the past behind, a mountain of fire that we will venture to. No road around it, the burns and stings will come to you. A crown of thorns on our head, we are the king and queen. Two hopeless causes, two hopeless causes.
A big lineup, 6 musicians. Unfortunately the band has been through some changes. Some of the members have left, a few others have stayed. Well, roughly half the band left, the other half stayed. They are completing a new lineup, they are playing live already, and they are already working very casually on new songs. So, you know, they don't sit still. You know, it's not like we have the album out, alright, we're done. Absolutely not. This is a band that really loves to go out there and play and entertain the people. And they try to play as much as possible. I would say, if you have a chance to see Mind Soul live, do it. I really hope I get a chance to see them, because I'm really curious how they are going to bring the material from this album in a live setting. It would be very interesting to see, because as I said, a very adventurous, a very exciting album with lots to enjoy, and it will keep you listening for a long time. Now, I found a lot of great parts on this album, and if I go and look at, well, let me try and be critical and let me try and find out something negative about this album. I can't. I really can't. I'm sorry. I really try to be honest and critical, but I can't be critical about this album because I think it is a very good album. It shows what an amazing talent we have here in the Netherlands. Fantastic bands that deserve a stage, and this album deserves a place in your collection. And for that reason, if I look at the whole songwriting, the whole way that these guys are really breaking the layers, you know, they are not stuck with prog rock, they're not stuck with metal. Now they combine everything and they bring in new different styles and mix everything together. You know, they don't sit and wait and copy others. Now they create their own sound, and I respect them for that. And for that reason, and because I love this album so much, I am awarding this album with a 9, because they absolutely deserve it. It is a fantastic album, so I only recommend this to you. Buy it, listen to it, give it time, you know, let it grow on you, and see these guys live if you can. The end. Mind Soul, the way it should be. Have you heard the album? Have you seen this band live maybe? What do you think of the album? Do you like it or do you not like it? Leave a comment on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the many videos I'm going to be uploading and more music I'm going to share with you. Of course, you can check out my website, liveprog.com, or if you want to stay even closer up to date, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll be the first to know everything that is happening at liveprog HQ. And I hope you will see me at a new review.
It took me 20 hours to get to this.